right, ladies and gentlemen, football fans, we are here on location with Coach Peabody at Long Beach City College, and we're going to talk a little bit about the 2014 season and talk about his players, and then, of course, everything that everybody wants to hear about is the playoff format and how that affected his team this year. Coach, thanks for coming on to this show. Coach, let's talk first about some of the players that have already moved on. We know about Potter. Kenny Potter. He's moving on. Who else?
Well, at mid-year, which I was real proud of, we had 4 guys end up signing mid-year Division I scholarships. We had Kenny Potter, obviously going to San Jose State. We had our offensive lineman who is probably the most physically dominant offensive lineman I've ever coached, Patrick Scoggins, who was number 69 for us. He signed with Iowa State. Our tight end, Clayton Grant, was another real good, nice success story. Kid came in here at about 210 pounds, left here at about 240, got a Division I scholarship to play tight end at New Mexico State. And then about 2 weeks ago, our left tackle, our true freshman left tackle, big old Oak Tree kid, 6'7", Ryan Pope, he signed at San Diego State. So we're real proud of that accomplishment. It's not easy to have mid-year guys nowadays with a lot of the NCAA rule changes, and I kind of look at some of the competition that we face in recruiting and on the field, and I think we kind of dominated that area and placing guys mid-year.
How about on the defensive side? Anybody moving on yet?
Well, we started basically 11 freshmen on the defensive side of the ball. So our main sophomore, one of our main sophomores had some clock issues, Ace Morgan, who is a transfer from a couple of other schools. He's signed with a Division II school tomorrow. And then basically everybody else is freshmen. So
are we going to see them all back?
You know what? There's one or two. There's one for sure that I think will be gone over the next week or two. Pops Fowl, who is our freshman defensive tackle. We're actually a little surprised he's still available. But after that, we do lose a couple backers. One of them's working on his grades, 4.24 kid. But other than that, pretty much everybody's back for next year up front. And some of the pieces we've added over the last month or so have us pretty excited.
That's cool. That's very good. So, Coach, last year's team, they did superb. Okay, they really. There was some pieces of the puzzle, though, that you thought maybe needed to pick up their game in order to get as good as you guys were last year. Where were those positions that excelled above and beyond your expectation?
Really, I say our offensive line. I thought our offensive line, we didn't necessarily always have the best looking bunch out on the field, but those guys played hard and they played together and they were very physical. And then really, so I think that really on the offensive side of the ball was really the biggest surprise was how good that group ended up being. And then too, when you look at it defensively, we just didn't really know. I remember when we did our first interview, I was really excited about the talent that we had brought in, but they're young and we're playing in a brutal conference, best division in JC football, best conference in JC football, and it was interesting to see how they play. When you look at how Pops played, how J.J. Allen played, how Scotty Fowl played on the other side, the way Lyndon Iacopo, who made All-State as a safety, played. I was starting to get goosebumps right there thinking about it. Those guys came in and did a phenomenal job, fully bought into what we had going on, and really I think the biggest thing that really changed from year 1 to year 2 here was the improvement of our defense.
Hey, I've got to say, when I was watching the Mount Sac football game, I thought to myself, when is Mount Sac going to wear them down? When are they going to wear them down? And, going to the third, going in the fourth quarter, they never did it. Those boys showed a lot of heart on the Long Beach side. So, let's see what else is there to talk about. We talked about the players moving on, young team coming up and looking good. And I guess the biggest thing I guess I have to bring up right now is late in the season last year. I guess after the regular season, everybody kind of sat down and we were, as a Mount Sac fan, I was pretty much prepared to go to a bowl game, and that changed overnight for a lot of people. Coach, you had an opportunity after that to meet with the other coaches. Was there a coaches meeting after that?
Yeah, we had our end of the year conference meeting, which, my whole bone with the whole thing is, one, in my opinion, head-to-head should count. Now, granted, at the same time, we had opportunities against both Chaffey and Riverside. We win at least one of the two. Nothing to complain about. But we didn't handle our business when we had an opportunity. So it's hard to have real sour grapes at Mount Sac getting in over us. Mount Sac was the best team we played last year, period. They were I think would have been awesome if we could have had all 3 teams from our conference in the playoffs, because we were the 3 best teams, plus adding Fullerton as the 4th best team. That would have been a great playoff. And I think us versus what I would have believed would have been us versus Mount Chesac for the SoCal Championship game would have been an absolute barn burner and a great game for all the fans. And it would have, in my opinion, at the end of the year, probably put the two best teams together, with all due respect to Riverside. But the way we were playing at the end of the year, especially on the offensive side of the ball, we had made some adjustments up front, and we were dominant. You look at our bowl game, 742 yards and 75 points on a good Golden West team. So yeah, it's disappointing. There's been some tweaks in the system. Am I still happy with it? Not at all. The same problems could very easily continue to occur.
So there still is going to be conference champions.
Conference champion. I mean, with all due respect, Ventura, very good season and very competitive in the first round playoff game. But that said, you're 6-4. You're 6-4, and you look at the records, you look at the schedule, you look who they played, and the way it went down, and it's just wrong. I don't know what kind of system we have. We definitely aren't taking the best four teams, and it's happened now a few years in a row. And again, okay, we tweak the system. We're throwing out the poll. We're just going with a power ranking. Problems are still going to occur. Someone from probably the Central, because I don't see things really changing, will probably get left out. And it's just very disappointing that there are either egos or whatever it is involved that is preventing us from taking the best four teams. I don't care what conference they come from. Maybe the South or the North has 3 teams one year. So be it. Take the best 4. Let's get the best representative for Southern California.
And those best 4 are representative by their records or by a coaching poll.
To me, I don't really have a problem with the poll being included as a piece of the puzzle. I really don't. It went the way it went. I have a problem when we give an automatic bid to a conference champion, just because. I mean, Ventura should have had a great home bowl game.
Let me check this. It's flashing.
Right.
We're still good. Okay, so I wanted to talk about. What
really,
about
my hat off to Mount Sac? I was glad they won. If it wasn't gonna be us,
yeah.
it was them.
Well, I kind of feel the same way you do as far as the head-to-head. I was a little perplexed. I see Mount Sac from what's that?
It wasn't just the head-to-head, but then the way the rankings were going in last week, and then the way the wins and losses came down, we were thinking there was no way on God's green earth we weren't getting in.
Really?
No way on God's green earth, especially with the way the other games went. Every team we needed to win won, and then somehow we still don't get in.
That's exactly how I saw it too. I guess there was some finagling with the Fullertons. Something happened there.
From my understanding, that's what talking to Bob, and I'm putting words in anybody's mouth, but it seems like something strange happened down there in part of Orange County.
Yeah, they flopped. They flopped at the very end, which it wasn't fair to Long Beach. That's Coach. But I think let's look on the other half of the coin here, where Long Beach City College is today versus where they were 2 years ago before you joined. They are now one of the powers to look at, and that puts chills in my spine because it's great to see. Long Beach City College has got a long-standing tradition, and where they were for the last decade wasn't the right place, but now they're where they need to be.
I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity that I've been given here. I love it. I love it here. I love coming to work every day. I've got a great administration that's very supportive of our program, is proud and is recognizing the things that we're starting to accomplish. And again, we're just starting. This is our second year. We're starting. And as annoyed as I am about how the playoff situation went, I'm so proud of how our staff and our players refocused despite the incredible disappointment. I mean, that Monday meeting, we thought we were in. And then, you have to go in there and explain to, 80 guys and go, hey, I don't know exactly what happened, but here's the cards we're dealt. We've got a really good Golden West team coming to town to play a bowl game. They're going to be hungry. They want to beat you. They believe they can beat you. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit around and mope and cry and put on a poor performance? Or are you going to step up, redouble your efforts, and try to prove a point that we should have been in there, that we were a dominant football team? And sure enough, I was really, really proud. I mean, I was 0 for in bowl games as a head coach. I hadn't won a bowl game. So for me personally, getting a great bowl win over that team. Hey, you know what? Hey, I finally won something.
You didn't only win it. Like you said, Golden West was a very good football team, and you guys, incredible. What was the score of that game?
The final was 75-41. It was 40-something to 14 at halftime. They made a little push in the third, and we kind of just, it was great because we dominated all 3 phases of the game. And just the way we dominated all 3 phases was just, it was such a great team win and a great team effort. We hadn't won a bowl game at this school since I think it was 2005. So there's so much positive, and
that's
I'm not
great.
going to dwell on it. You got to keep everything in perspective. Was it disappointing we didn't get a shot at what our ultimate goal was? Sure it was. We're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, but at the same time, we had a great experience. We had a great bowl game, and it gives us something to build on. This year, I'll put it right out there. Our motto is leave no doubt, because somewhere we left some doubt last year, and this year, that for us is a point of emphasis of just really having a great off season, working hard in the weight room, and getting ready to go, so we don't leave any doubt in anyone's mind about where we should be and what we should be playing for next year.
Right on.
But again, when you lose the 2 games we lost, you leave doubt, you create an opening for someone else to get an opportunity, and we handle business in 1 or 2. We're not even talking about how the playoff scenario broke down.
Yeah, Mount Sac could say the same thing. They put themselves into a jeopardy, situation.
Yeah.
They happen to pan out this year, but next year they have to win them, in order no spilt milk and all that stuff. Coach, how about you? Has the phone rang? You getting any offers yourself?
No, I'm very happy at this level, and I'm especially happy at this college. I couldn't imagine necessarily there being a better fit for me, for my personality, a better community that fits me, the diversity we have, and just I'm in a special place.
Well, that's great to hear, Coach, and that's good to hear. I've always pumped you up as one of the greatest offensive.
You've been great.
One of the greatest offensive minds. I hope they treat you right here at Long Beach, because you are something special. You've done an excellent job. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Where is LA Harbor now? Unfortunately, they're on life support equipment.
Hopefully Dean can get it going. Dean's a good guy. Dean's a good coach. He's working hard. I know of a couple kids that are going over there to play. That should help them out a bit. It's tough. It's tough over there. At least he's there full time, unlike I was at the time, and hopefully they continue to provide a little bit more support for it, because I know Dean will work hard.
All right. Well, hey, that's pretty good. I think that'll wrap it up for now, unless there's something else that you got on your mind.
Oh, man, I'm just so excited. We start back officially full bore next week, and we've got a great nucleus return and a great attitude. That's the one thing I can say. Last year's football team that we had here really played hard, and they played together, and they believed in each other, and they believed in our staff, and they believed in the program. And it's not always easy to get great chemistry at our level. It's really not, because, such a turnover, and so far, I'm seeing a lot of those same signs. And the focus right now with these guys is phenomenal. And they're excited to get rolling. And as a staff, we'll meet again. We meet again tomorrow afternoon to make sure everything's cranking and ready to go next week.
Anybody new on the staff?
We're working on bringing in a receiver coach that we plan on plucking from one of our competitors, a local guy. I just got to make sure all the finances are right so I can put him in a position where he can be happy leaving where he's at.
Okay. That's good, Coach. And we'll just break it off there.
Outstanding.
Mountie Man, who does whatever a Mountie fan can. Critiques the game, any size. The other guys, they just tell lies. Look out, here comes the Mountie Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. His morning show makes him a stud. Can he make a grown man cry? Yes, he can. Check out why. Look out. Here comes the Mountie Man. In the chill of the night, at the scene of the game, Scuba and Mountie arrive with some smoking hot dames. Mountie Man, offensive, quick-witted Mountie Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Hard-hitting commentary is his reward to him. Life is a full game, bang up. Wherever there's a hand up, you'll find the Mountie Man.
Number 2.